Welcome back to Sunrider, everyone, in which we have finally defeated Alice. Now, what will happen next? Because surely there's going to be more standing in our way than Alice. With a long sigh of relief, Chigara collapsed on the floor. Yukari crawled over to where Kriska had fallen, tears running down her face. Yukari's face froze in shock when Kriska groaned. Come on, there's still a chance. Kriska shook herself awake and tore open her uniform, revealing a black mesh around her body. Oh man. Great, now you're making Hikari you look like an idiot. Hikari's face twisted and contorted until she resembled a newborn pug. A big fat tears dripped from her eyes as she buried herself inside Kriska's bosom. The Shields laughed in spite of the pain shooting through his body. We did it. He wrapped his arms around the two of them. We won! Just then, old Claude burst into engineering, escorted by ship security. Alright, what now? Despite their injuries, the two of them struggled to their feet. With grins on their blood-stained faces, Shields and Hikari waved. Yes, please see to us, Claude. Soon, they were both on stretchers while ship security detained Chigara, who had already surrendered peacefully. With Alice dead, and Chigara never having entered the mind stream, there was no risk of Alice's ghost ever reasserting control over her again. Is our mission truly done? The crew rushed to contain the damage in engineering as Shields was ferried towards sickbay. Between the moving bodies of the crew, he saw a familiar locket of pink hair. The second Claude watched the events unfold from the shadows. But a blink later, she completely vanished from the universe. Well, that was easy. Shields closed his eyes. The past had been rewritten. The future had been saved. The Liberation Day massacre was averted. The world began to fade to white as the law of causality reconfigured the universe based on what he had accomplished. In the universe which will be created, the Sunrider would emerge triumphant during the Battle of Serra. Chigara, the prototype spy, would be apprehended safely, and Shields would have prevented an intergalactic war between the Alliance and Pact. Not bad for a day's work. But next time, let's try to get it right the first time around. You know, that's exactly what we wanted. Well, great. Shields nailed before Moray's grave. At long last, he had put her soul to rest, up in that mountain of their childhoods. Beside him, Ava laid a bouquet of flowers next to a headstone marking her father's final resting place. Hooray. I'm sorry. You were so proud to hear I'd finally become captain. Told all your friends I would protect Sarah the instant you found out. But I let you down. I let everyone down. Ever since that day, I swore to myself I would come back here, that I will take back what we lost that day. And after so many trials, here I am, finally home. Ray put her hand on his shoulder. Upon hearing her voice, tears dripped down his eyes. Hooray. Shields gripped his fist and sobbed into her grave. I swear I'll never betray your trust. For as long as I live, I'll defend everyone. No matter what may face me, no matter the odds, I'll fight on. So that I can return here and keep you company. I'll tell you stories of adventures, of narrow escapes and victories snatched from the jaws of defeat. You'll be on the edge of your seat each time. Ray, your brother's going to keep fighting. Sarah's not safe yet. There's more work to do. I'm not ready to quit being Captain Cato Shields. Not yet. I'm going to return to space, and this time, I'll be leaving you here. Yeah, of course. Nobody's going to take down your big brother. With that, Moray's apparition slowly faded away. She wrapped her arms around Cato's head. Yeah, it's a promise. Moray vanished into the fall wind. The leaves in the forest rustled as her spirit echoed throughout the mountain, before finally dispersing into the great beyond. Instead of lamenting her final disappearance, Shield stood with a tear-soaked grin. I'll be back, Moray. Yeah, how'd things go on your end? No. You take after him in many ways. I can tell from your smile right now, you would definitely be overjoyed as well. Well, it never hurts to smile every now and then, as it helps offset the effects of aging. From the mountain, they could see that most of Sarah City was still an enormous crater. The Legion's attack had bored a scar into their beautiful city, one that they may never forget. But reconstruction efforts were already underway. The Alliance had already brought money, workers, and resources to restore the city, while Fontana has likewise pledged to make amends for Pact's wanton actions. Shields looked to the remains of the city he once called home. There was still work to do, but for the first time in his life, he felt victorious. Not a fleeting sense of accomplishment after winning a small skirmish, but an overwhelming sense of having won something important. It resounded through his entire body, giving him strength. With that, the two of them hiked back down the mountain. The sun set over Serra National Park. The Liberation Day celebration had just ended. It was a grand affair where Admiral Grey took to the stage to commend the fighting spirit of Serra's only surviving assault carrier and presented Cato's shields with the Feraldan Cross. There were parades, a full orchestra, as well as enough Alliance and Pact dignitaries to last a lifetime. In reality, Cato Shields did not care too much about receiving honors or trying to find influence by befriending powerful Alliance figures. Instead, his only thoughts were about... nothing. Just thinking, you're up for something around after this? I know some places around here. Despite the old universe being destroyed, Ikari and Shield's feelings for each other remained. Even though she had started as his enemy, Ikari proved to be the ship's stalwart defender in the end. Without her help, Shields would never have been able to thwart the prototypes. Now, if only she could become more honest about her feelings. Sure, you say all that, but you still gave me quite a passionate kiss before the battle. Oh, really? Oh, no. Character reference? Hikari's face glowed so red it looked like it was going to melt like paraffin wax. Ha ha ha! That really does sound a lot like Hikari, doesn't it? Ha ha ha! Huh. Sure. Later that evening, Shields took his date to a secluded beach. He had discovered this cove many years ago. It was a spot he had spent with Murray on numerous occasions, collecting seashells and diving into the clear waters. The fresh air coming from the ocean felt cool against his chest. He took a deep breath, the familiar sight and smells warming him with nostalgia. Ikari clambered down some rocks and met him. Couldn't ask for a better sight. 10 out of 10, Ikari. She shoots. Alright. The two of them walked along the beach. Come on, you have something to say, don't you? Ikari trembled with irritation. Shields took her up on the offer. She leaned in, squeezing the side of her boob against him. You know, sometimes I wonder if your whole Cinderella routine's just an act. You really do take it too far. Hikari. Shields turned to face her. No, you're the only one I care about. Shields leaned in and plucked a kiss from her lips. Hikari leaned in and pressed her lips against Shields, her tongue gently caressing his. Shields wrapped his arms around her back, bringing her against his chest. He ran his palms against her smooth back. The floodgates of Hikari's hesitation broke apart and their kisses intensified. Their hands ran against their skin, marveling at each other's physiques. They separated, panting. I know. Hikari's lips trembled as Shields stroked her back. Shields' hand slid down Hikari's back and came to rest. His fingers between her legs. Cheetah, I bet you're secretly soaking wet here. That was an invitation. Shields pushed aside Hikari's bikini panties and examined her opening. We're really going through with this, aren't we? What a note to end it on. And so the two became lovers that day. Many secrets still lay deep inside Hikari's heart. How had she become a mercenary after her parents' death? What was the story of the day she chose to lock her true emotions away for good, and live guided by the cold, hard facts? But those were tales Shields would have to discover another day, because right now, she was crying tears of happiness into his arms. For a brief moment, she had opened her heart to him and showed him her true emotions. While the very next morning, she would return to acting the part of the cool mercenary who definitely didn't have any feelings for the stupid captain. Shields knew that he would one day discover the true Hikari. But when that day came, just how would their feelings for each other change? Not much, I imagine. 1 month later. Sheesh. This game has a lot of endings, doesn't it? After a much-deserved period of R&R, Shields had finally returned to his trusty ship, while his days on Sarah went by in a flash. In the end, Shields could not rest easy until he had returned to what had become his new home. And on top of that, Shields had managed to transfer a certain prisoner to his ship, ostensibly for field counterintelligence purposes. He pressed the intercom and spoke with Chigara. Still wearing a smile, are we? Chigara? Sorry about the small cell. We're actually trying to build you a better one as we speak. For now, please bear with it. Apologizing to absolutely everyone, I imagine. No. You're just a victim in this too, Chikara. You never know what the prototypes were planning either. You were just an unwitting pawn. Huh. Honestly, I'd be glad to have you as the ship's chief again. But as long as the Alpha prototype still lives, she can assume control of your body. So we can't let you out. Not yet. Not until we finally found the Alpha and destroyed her. Then You'll finally be free again. I promise, I'll get you out of that cell, Ichigo, and make sure the prototypes never take control of your body ever again. You have my word. What? Yes. Yeah, let me know if you need anything. Shields entered his old office. He had spent countless hours in here, agonizing over plans to lead a one-ship war against Pact and liberate Serra. After every victory, he felt as if he stood at the top of the world. He had somehow won against an overwhelming enemy. While some nights, the weight of commanding the ship had crushed down on his back, he would realize the futility of his mission and despair he would most likely never survive to see a liberated Serra. Now that his mission had been accomplished, he felt surreal walking through all the memories he had of his office. His thoughts were interrupted by an unexpected noise. What the? Someone had placed a basket inside his desk. A dog popped his head out from the top and panted friendlily at Shields. Well, I guess we could also call a dog a barket. Well, what do we have here? As if on cue, Ava slipped inside the office. Well, I guess we could use a team mascot or something. Ava, are you the one behind this? Huh. She strained herself. Well, you definitely know me too well. In fact, I used to have a dog which looked just like him. Don't you remember? Well, hardly a day on board the ship and the mud already outranks me. Shields shook his head and delivered a salute to his new pet. Captain Kato Shields at your service, Admiral. He gave Admiral a scratch behind his ears and returned to Ava. Well done, Commander. Shall we get underway? Shields and Ava strode onto the bridge of the Sunrider. What's the situation? That sounds lovely. I know this plot line. Obviously an alien race from another galaxy intent on destroying all of humanity before we get too powerful and destroy ourselves, or something. Huh. Eva. When will you ever learn? Wherever the Sunrider goes, there will never be a dull mission. Ava faced palmed. Heh. Get us underway, Commander. Shields took one last look at Serra on the main screen. This was the home he had liberated with his own hands. His own 4 hands. No, not merely by his hands. He had help from men and women across the galaxy in accomplishing his mission. No matter how difficult their next voyage, he swore he would come back and see it again. Sounds good. Girls? A female voice he had never heard before sounded through the comm. Huh? Who's that? Well, how about that? Brilliant. It'd be a shame to be without the liberty. Ahaha! Of course it was. Ava stared daggers into Shield's face. I, must have missed that. Ahem. Meanwhile, in the hangar, the new girl's voice sounded through Asuka's comm. Valkyries, huh? Is that what they're calling them? Oh my, Akari's getting possessive. Precisely at that moment, the linear rail activating, flinging the Liberty out of the hangar. Nice hazing. Shield stood at the front of the bridge, his eyes gazing at the vast sea of stars before him. Who knew what adventures awaited him out there? The Sunrider proudly sailed out of Sarah, her riders flying in front of her. While Shields had given it his all to return home, he knew his destiny laid amongst the stars, fighting against impossible odds to save the galaxy from every manner of doom. As long as villains existed in the galaxy, Shields and his girls would fight to stop them. He grinned. Set course for our greatest adventure yet. Okay, happy end, huh? Hold on, let me check the achievements. Is that in the bonus section? Yes. Let's see, is that the best Ikari ending? Well, I guess it is. That solar worst ending just still sticks out to me. But, well, that's nice. Now that we got the best ending, is there really any reason to stick around? I wonder. Alright. Well, that ended well. That was alright. Well, that's probably going to be it for Sunrider Liberation Day. Unless people want me to go for another route as well. Huh. If only it was canon. Huh. So that story, that return story, was good. Okay. I can't say it's made me any more interested, though. Sunrider just isn't really... I just don't think I really want the kind of thing that the developers are going for here. So I probably won't end up doing the Sunrider Academy game. Also, this menu music actually goes on for quite a long while without repeating. Isn't that funny? Spending... I mean, in spite of the fact that you'll probably never be spending this much time on the title screen. I don't know. It goes all over the place. Interesting. Well then. Well then. I'm just glad to have that behind us now. It was good while it lasted. Huh. I can't really think of much else to say. I think I already said everything I wanted to about this game in other places. So, yeah, that... Well, it took back some of the ire I had for this game. Some of it. But it's not canon, so it doesn't fix all of it. Okay. Let's not worry about those little things now. For now, bye-bye, I guess. I'll see you someplace else.